their timeline. Right now, Christina Koch still working to get into that foot restraint, after which she'll be in a position to then install this recently removed nickel hydrogen battery into one of the empty slots on the exposed pallet. Again, a total of 9 of these nickel hydrogen batteries will ultimately be installed on this pallet, taking place of the total of 9 upgraded lithium-ion batteries that were delivered. Eventually, this exposed pallet will go in an HTV to be disposed of, as HTV does burn up through the Earth as it re-enters through the Earth's atmosphere. But for now, the battery in the hands of Drew Morgan while Christina Koch works to get into this foot restraint. He'll eventually hand it off, and she will break out that pistol grip tool, that drill that they used to release this battery from its spot on that integrated equipment assembly, then install it into the empty slot. The crew still running pretty far ahead of their timeline.
I think bring ingress aid closer to you a little bit, and put it on the boot plate, so it's just in front. Will help us get heels down a little bit more.
All right.
Contact, and a little bit lateral on the pedal, coming inboard just a little bit at the right foot. Contact, and a little bit lateral on the pedal, coming inboard just a little bit. Right, and you're in the toe loop on the right. Right foot is at the back of the boot plate. That's the touching there.
One hour, 46 minutes into today's spacewalk, again targeted to last about 6.5 hours. The crew still on their first major task of the day. They've
I think bring ingress aid closer to you.
Removed one of the nickel hydrogen batteries from its spot on the integrated equipment assembly, getting ready to put it in slot X on the exposed pallet, where it's going to stay and ultimately get disposed of, along with 8 additional nickel hydrogen batteries that will be removed over the coming weeks.
I would say let's bring the ingress aid a little more vertical view.
It extended on me, so I'm going to give it a good lock.
Right foot is at the back of the boot plate. That's the touching there.
One hour, 46 minutes into today's spacewalk, again targeted to last about 6.5 hours. The crew still on their first major task of the day.
The right foot needs to come
They've
more inboard on the pedal there, on the right.
They've already removed one of the nickel hydrogen batteries from its spot on the integrated equipment assembly, getting ready to put it in slot X on the exposed pallet, where it's going to stay and ultimately get disposed of, along with 8 additional nickel hydrogen batteries that will be removed over the coming weeks. Our lead spacewalker for the day. If you're just tuning in, you can tell whose camera you're looking through by that small number in the bottom right. Christina Koch is 11 today. Drew Morgan has 18.
It extended on me, so I'm going to give it a
still
good
working to
lock.
get into that foot restraint. Once she's there, Morgan will move over and position the battery to hand it off.
Just in the loop, right? So just in the loop. There you go. Get it down and rotate. You're there. There you go.
And Christina Koch's going to take that battery, put it into slot number X, letter X,
That looks good on the right.
and then use the pistol grip tool to drive it in place.
Okay.
It looks about the same depth on your right foot. Left heel feels secure. That's toe loop on the right and on the left.
Copy.
Right now you're looking through the helmet cam of Christina Koch. She's EV1, our lead spacewalker for the day. If you're just tuning in, you can tell whose camera you're looking through by that small number in the bottom right. Christina Koch is 11 today. Drew Morgan's has 18. Koch's still working to get into that foot restraint. Once she's there, Morgan will move over and position the battery to hand it off.
Toes just in the loop, right toes just in the loop. There you go. Get it down and rotate. You're there. There you go.
And Christina Koch is going to take that battery, put it into slot number X, letter X, and then use the pistol grip tool to drive it in place.
It looks about the same depth.
When I move it out like this, it just can move the boot plate rather than... Anyway, is there anything, I guess, hung up on the interface?
Left field feels secure. What should, Stephanie, what should roll be on Christina's APFR?
During Christina, the roll should be Foxtrot.
Okay, so we're at golf. So the roll, which is pitch in this configuration, for one on position to your rear.
Just away a little bit?
Just away a little bit.
Okay. I can... That change. I do think I would have good access to...
It looks like you do.
So I don't see it as an issue on my end.
Yeah.
He'll still secure.
Okay.
Take a look for me at my ingress aid, and so I would have thought I could move it further away from me and in.
Checking.
When I move it out like this, it just one option moves the boot plate rather than the battery, and then make the roll change. Is there anything I guess hung up on the ingress aid?
What should
its access is
what should roll be on Christina's APFR?
Yes, and we discussed it. If Drew can hand you the battery, Christina, the roll should be Foxtrot. Make the roll change.
Okay, so we're...
and if you feel you need it. So if you feel that it will work for you, we're
the
happy
roll,
to continue in this configuration.
In this configuration, for one on position to your rear.
Just away a little bit.
We ret swap here, just away a little bit.
Okay, I'll go ahead and hold it, and then I'll get to it where I can put my red on it. So you can change.
If you're able to
do you
put a red
think
on
I would have
before you
good
take it, then I
access?
it looks like you do.
So I don't see it as an issue on my end.
Yeah.
That's affirmative. You're ready to H1, and eventually H1 will end up in your left hand.
Battery install going to work for you guys?
Checking.
For
Well,
it looks...
the one option is, Drew, you could hand me the battery and then make the roll change.
Okay, and you have the battery?
I have the battery.
You have the battery? Let me get my red.
Stephanie, to reiterate, access is good for me. Bring it back to you.
Okay.
If it's not working out, then just let me know.
Yes, and we discussed it. If Drew can hand you the battery, then he can make the roll change. And I have a couple reminders and cautions for you before you, and if you feel you need it. So if you feel that it will work for you, we're happy to continue in this configuration. Translation speed down and wait until EP motion dampens out. The new ones, crew must not simultaneously impart loads into the EP.
Okay, I think we
When the SSR and its brakes are off, the free float crew member on the EP must remain quiescent. And do not exceed 20 pounds force during ORU stop dock, engage or disengage with the EP.
Okay, gotcha. I'm Stephanie. Am I reading to the H1 too?
That's affirmative. You're reading to H1, and eventually H1 will end up in your left hand. With that soft off,
so
the battery.
Inward.
And Drew,
you want to mess with that APFR setting?
Drew, I have it ready.
Okay, and you have the battery?
I have the battery.
You have the battery?
Only if Christina feels she needs it.
Yep, I'll try and put this down for you. Grab your bet. If not, I can grab it for you and bring it back to you. If it's not working out, I'm having to be very cognizant of not having the battery fins touch the EP. So I have a battery hold back position.
And I have a couple reminders and cautions for you before you begin work on the EP. Friendly reminder to not impart loads, keep your translation speed down, and wait until EP motion dampens out. The new ones, crew must not simultaneously impart loads into the EP. When the SSRMS brakes are off, the free float crew member on the EP must remain quiescent. And do not exceed 20 pounds force during ORU soft dock, engage or disengage with the EP.
I'm going to see if I can grab your ingress aid.
Okay, yep, I feel that coming out.
Copy. With that soft dock,
so
the battery, whatever you two feel you need, we concur. And Drew, only if Christina feels she needs it.
And for me, I actually think this is a good position because I'm already having to be very cognizant of not having the battery fins touch the EP. So I think this slightly holds that
right
position.
Now, Christina Koch in place in that foot restraint, holding onto the battery.
And
you can see right
we
here.
can reassess Drew once you've done any
Morgan's
GPA
working
and
his way over to the exposed pallet, the EP.
I do not have
the
it,
next,
but I'm not in a
you
good
think you can soft dock it from there, or Stephanie, does she need me to be out there in order to soft dock it? I'm going to keep an eye on that. All right.
Okay. I'll remind you as well. I can answer that. I don't have vision, so I will need your GPA to soft dock it.
Okay, I have good visibility, so I think we'll go for soft dock.
Okay.
I'm going to, let's see if I can grab your ingress aid.
Okay, yep, I feel that coming out.
Don't come any closer yet. Let's
Okay.
Whatever you two feel you need, we concur.
away from your head. I'm just going to put a little hand on it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Come toward you. I'm out on the EP, moving up, and then come 4, 5 feet. Your feet.
Down.
Yep, and we want to take the side here down toward your head, maybe a local down, so I can get better eyes for it. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit.
Right now, Christina Koch in place in that foot restraint, holding onto the battery. You can see right here in her view. Drew Morgan's working his way over to the exposed pallet, the EP.
We're over the bumper.
I do not have it, but I'm not in a good position.
It's going to be toward you, and then C4 to want to go between my legs, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. All right.
Okay. I'll remind you as well.
Toward your head. All right, okay, I have good visibility, so I think we'll go for something.
Okay.
Pitch on the hinge. Let's see. Let's pitch toward your head. That's good. And don't come any closer yet.
Okay.
There you go. Away from your and then away from your head. I'm just going to put a little hand on it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Come toward you.
Me.
Yep, stop motion. And then come toward your feet. Good. Your feet coming toward me. Me. Yep. And we want to take toward me. Side here. That's down toward me. Toward your head. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Each one side. Oh, this is the feet side right here. Your feet side needs to come toward you. Yeah, go in. Or, sorry, away from you. There you go. We're over the bumper though. I need you to come back a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
And back towards me.
Back toward you.
Happy?
Toward you.
Towards me.
There. And then toward your feet.
In self-dock, do you think?
Not yet.
Okay.
And pitch toward your head.
Pitching up. I'm trying to give it the...
Okay, stop there.
This might be
Back
a place
up some
where
more.
you put the position above
Pitch
it
away
and
from your head. Yeah.
help me soft-dock it.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Toward your, translate toward your feet. There you go. There we go. And then...
And my gauge phone is on.
A little bit toward me. And you push up. Oh, each one is not yet. On a count of 3. All right, we'll go in. We're all me. 1, 2, 3. It's good. Keep coming toward me. Me. And toward me. Toward me. That's good. And toward me. And on. Let's try each one side. Our body position here over to the catch up. Each one side to catch up.
Centered on H down.
Yeah, go in on a count of 3. 1, or I'm sorry, away from you. There you go, into the receptacle. That's good. Continue doing that, catching up just a little bit. Okay, nice and level over. I'll start right there.
Am I in self-stop usually out on H1, or H2 rather, and this will be expected to stop. I'm trying to give it the, this might be a place where you could position above it and try and help me soft dock it.
Yeah, I think we're soft docked. Alignment is good.
Okay.
Yep. It looks level. And we could ask Stephanie, and you put how much on a count of 3. Go in, we're all lined up. 1, it's about 2, 3. 3 fingers wide. It looks level across, or I can see from H2 to H1. It looks nice and level.
Checking 10 seconds to 20-second handover.
Let's try in the electrical filters body position here over more towards H2.
I am centered on H2.
Okay.
And you just heard the call out
count
for
of
a
3.
handover,
1,
so
2,
another
3.
short period of signal loss between us and the space station. We'll get it back pretty quickly.
It looks nice and level.
As of right now, Christina, Koch, and Drew Morgan working to maneuver that
I'm going to
battery
pull
into
gently
place
out on
the
H1,
exposed
or
pallet. This
H2
is
rather,
battery
and
number 1, so the first one that they removed, it's one of the older nickel hydrogen batteries.
Right there.
It is fairly large, as you can see, so that prevents Christina Koch from having a good view as she's trying to move it into place. So Drew Morgan is there on the exposed pallet helping to call out just some motion just to try and get it into place. Once they get it soft dock, Christina Koch will then take out the pistol grip tool and then drive the bolts on that battery and attach it to the pallet.
Still have,
Travel some.
say it's about
3 fingers sounds reasonable. We'd like to try it.
It looks level across, or I can see from H2 to H1. It looks nice and level.
Checking 10 seconds to 20-second handover.
The red on H1 is locked out with slack, and I'm going for my PGT.
Okay, and while Christina's getting her PGT, Stephanie, like I tell you, the electrical connectors are on H2 look level. We talked this during the handover, and we do think that was soft dock.
And you just heard the call out for a handover, so another short period of signal loss between us and the space station. We'll get it back pretty quickly, though. As of right now, Christina Koch and Drew Morgan working to maneuver that battery into place on the exposed pallet. This is battery number 1, so the first one that they removed. It's one of the older nickel hydrogen batteries. It is fairly large, as you can see, so that prevents Christina Koch from having a good view as she's trying to move it into place. So Drew Morgan is there on the exposed pallet helping to call out just some motion just to try and get it into place. Once they get it soft dock, Christina Koch will then take out the pistol grip tool to then drive the bolts on that battery and attach it to the pallet.
We think 3 fingers sounds reasonable. We'd like to try it with the PGT after the red on H1 is locked out with slack.
Inward. The red on H1 is locked out with slack, and I'm going for my PGT.
While Christina's getting her PGT, Stephanie, like I tell you, I can see that H1 and H2 look level. We talked this during the handover, and we do think that was soft dock for our feeling. The electrical connectors are lined up, but there's about maybe one skinny finger of clearance between the plug and the jack. And so that all looks
Christina, when you trigger, that'll wake the screen.
And I'm assessing reach of the... And
copy, Christina. Drew, we copy your report. Sounds reasonable.
It must have gotten clipped, but actually turned off. So I'm going to turn it on, and we'll...
And we are coming up on 2 hours and 2 minutes into today's spacewalk, which began officially at 6:39 a.m. Central Time.
Christina, you were clipped. Did you ask for PGT settings?
We confirming. I have Alpha 7 clockwise 2. Battery 90.
Copy Alpha 7 clockwise 2. Those are good settings. Copy. Confirm tape line flush to the H2 scoop.
Inward.
So that Alpha 7 and clockwise 2, just the settings on the pistol grip tool, the drill that you can see Christina Koch working with.
16 to 17 turns.
Okay, copy. It looks like my PGT went to sleep. Is that just a quick power cycle of the on-off switch?
Checking.
Alpha 7, clockwise 2 is set.
Copy Alpha 7, clockwise 2. Christina, when you trigger, that'll awake the screen. Tape line flush. Drive H2, 16 to 17 turns.
And copy and work. It actually is off. It must have gotten clicked, but actually turned off. So I'm going to turn it on, and we'll. Oh. By one, the PG switch was put to off at some point, so I'm going to cal.
We concur with the cal.
Pass. And good LED test, battery 39.05.
Copy.
Yeah, I have 16 turns, green LED, and I see actual torque 9.1 foot-pounds.
Copy 9.1 torque, 16 turns, green light. Check status indicator lock.
Status indicator is locked.
Copy. Unlock your RET and stow your PGT.
Alpha 7, clockwise 2 is set.
Copy Alpha 7, clockwise 2. Again, confirm tape line
flush.
Copy tape line flush. Drive H2, 16 to 17 turns.
Copy and work.
Jacking.
Copy. PGT stowed, RET is unlocked.
So with the battery now attached to the exposed pallet.
This battery install. Christina, with this APFR setting, do you feel you have good access to both the scoops on H1 and H2 to retrieve those?
Yes, I do, and I wanted to make a comment. I actually think this roll is better because if I had been closer to the 16 turns, green LED, and I see the actual torque 9.1 pounds. So I think this
Copy
is
9.1 torque, 16 turns, green light. Check status indicator lock. We copy. And
it looks good.
Status indicator is locked.
And we'll keep copy. Unlock your RET and stow your PGT.
Okay, copy. And did I work here correctly that I have a go to retrieve scoops?
That's affirm. You have a go.
Work.
What's that?
H2 retrieve. PGT stowed, RET is unlocked.
And with that, the battery number 1 is now attached to the exposed pallet. Retrieving those two scoops.
Christina, with this APFR
handholds on the
setting,
battery.
do you feel you have good access to both the scoops on H1 and H2 to retrieve those? And you will relocate those.
Yes, I do, and I wanted to make a comment. I actually think this roll is better because if I had been closer to the EP, I wouldn't have had good clearance to actually set the PGT up on.
Are we making helmet right now?
So I think this is actually a good roll setting. Okay, Stephanie? Go ahead. Thanks.
Yes, we copy. And
it looks good.
Will be relocated on battery alpha. And we'll keep this APFR setting for now. And it's a good time for a glove, cap, and
did I
gauntlet.
hear correctly that I have a go to retrieve scoops? See that?
That's affirm. You have a go.
The gloves are unchained. Work. My hat is dry. My gauntlets are down.
EQ, my app is dry. What's that?
H2 retrieve.
The gloves no change from baseline.
And with that,
It looks like
the
they
battery
did
number
when it came out.
1 is now attached to the exposed pallet.
Maybe a couple
Christina, folks, retrieving those
razor
two
marks
scoops
on the left
that were
middle
used to
finger.
provide handholds on the battery.
And H2 is as well.
Copy. H2 is as well. And you will relocate those onto battery alpha and middle EV1 and EV2. We are happy to continue 1
As you're translating there, just watch out for helmet to helmet contact.
Okay. Are we making helmet right
PET
now?
is about 2 hours, 8 minutes.
Okay, Stephanie?
And for consumables, we show 7-hour PET based on EV2. Yes, those scoops will be relocated on battery alpha, the battery in the middle slot.
So a number of
and
items
it's a good
just
time
taking
for
place
a
there.
glove,
You heard
hap,
both
and
of the
gauntlet
crew
check.
members do a glove, hap, and gauntlet check.
See that?
Behind, we show
For
you an hour
EV1,
ahead. Again, nice work.
gloves are unchained. My hap is dry. My gauntlets are down.
The crew already an hour ahead on their timeline.
My hap is dry. Then for our carry over.
Okay, copy that. And Stephanie, I am in the APFR. My ingress
Well,
aid is
so change from baseline. It looks like they did when it came out.
In a good config for moving
Do
the
that.
EP.
There's maybe a couple of
translated to
razor marks on the left middle finger.
X and alpha, and he is ready for EP to move.
I mean, there's the RTD is intact.
We show you in a good config. We are ready as well. We can hand you over to the arm operator. We copy checks from EV1 and EV2. We are happy to continue 1 minute to sunrise.
Christina and Drew, I have you loud and clear. How do you have me?
PET is about 2 hours, 2 hours, 8 minutes.
We are ready for your
and for consumables, we show 7-hour PET based on EV2 MEDOX.
Slot alpha.
Copy, ready for publish to slot alpha for your SA. That will be 1.2 meters to
So
your
a number
right.
of items just taking place there. You heard both of the crew members do a glove, hap, and gauntlet check.
Behind, we show you an hour ahead. Again, nice work.
Copy.
The crew already an hour ahead on their timeline.
I'm getting settled in for our
And with that,
carry over.
first battery
Okay,
now
copy that.
attached.
And
Just
Stephanie,
near
I am in the
controls of
APFR.
the
My
robotic
ingress
arm.
aid is stowed, and all the tools I'm in the manual workstation are stowed, and in a good config for moving the EP. Who has translated to above the area between
battery alpha right in
X
front of
and
Christina.
alpha, and he is ready for the EP to move.
Koch's gonna go ahead and install those scoops and then begin removing.
We show you in a good
battery alpha.
config. We are ready as well. We can hand you over to the arm operator.
Okay, copy. We're going crescent, ready for motion. Do that. Jessica, this is
Battery alpha,
Christina.
one of the new
Do we have you?
lithium-ion
Hi, Christina
batteries
and Drew.
is
I have
going
you loud
to
and clear.
go
How do you
into
have me?
the slot
Happy to say, and great to be
battery
working
was
with
just
you
removed from.
again.
So you get a bit of a
We are
shell
ready
game
for
with
your
all these
movement to
battery
the
swaps
published
taking
position
place.
for battery in slot alpha.
The crew about an hour ahead on their
Copy,
timeline.
ready for
You heard
publish
the
to slot
limiting
alpha
factor, 7
for your
hours
SA. That
MEDOX
will be
for
1.2
EV2.
meters to your
And
right.
that just indicates
I concur with that.
they're
You're
looking
go
at
for
a
motion.
maximum time of
Copy, go.
7 hours
I'm holding
for
on.
today's
And Drew's
spacewalk.
quiescent.
Not necessarily that will go for 7 hours, but that's one of the limiting consumables that MEDOX, the ability to scrub CO2 from inside of the crew members' suits. And with that first battery now attached,
Copy,
just
good motion,
Kamir at
continuing.
the controls of the robotic arm.
Anytime.
She's about to set it in motion to move it about 1.5 meters forward or to Christina's right. Just Kamir, that'll place battery alpha right in front of Christina, just in front of Christina. Where Christina Koch's gonna go ahead and install those scoops and then begin removing battery alpha.
Here comes at 1.2.
Okay, copy. We're going
Meter to
crescent,
go.
ready for motion.
Battery alpha, one of the new lithium-ion batteries that's going to go into the slot where battery 1 was just removed from. So you get a bit of a shell game with all of these battery swaps taking place. The crew about an hour ahead on their timeline. You heard the limiting factor, 7 hours MEDOX for EV2. And that just indicates that they're looking at
remaining.
a
Drew will start
maximum
ripping
time
out.
of 7 hours for today's spacewalk. Not necessarily that will go for 7 hours, but that's one of the limiting consumables that MEDOX, the ability to scrub CO2 from inside of the crew members' suits.
It was fairly perceptible.
Copy, good motion, continuing. This is a published position. How does this look?
Okay, this has good access to H2, so let me check with Stephanie for my op.
Just Kamir putting the robotic arm in motion. You can see the exposed pallet moving just in front of Christina Koch.
If you'd like me to be able to reach both at once, I would ask for about 10 centimeters more motion in that direction.
Half a meter to go.
Copy.
And Christina, that's fine. If you would like to install the scoops one at a time or get a better position for both, that's your call.
Okay, copy that. Jessica, I'd like to continue motion in that direction, another 10 centimeters, please.
Copy, additional 10 centimeters in the same direction. Starting motion.
Good readback.
15 centimeters remaining. Drew will start ramping out.
Copy.
Stopping motion.
Okay, and I can call that complete.
This is a published position. How's this look? GCA complete.
Okay, this has good access to H2, so let me check with Stephanie for my op. Brakes are on. And Stephanie, with that, I believe I have a go. Yeah, good access to H2, but I could not quite reach H1 at this point. If you'd like me to be able to reach both at once, I would ask for about 10 centimeters more motion in that direction.
You'll end up with your red on the H2 scoop. Christina's red on the H2 scoop.
Okay.
And Christina, that's fine. If you would like to install the scoops one at a time or get a better position for both, that's your call.
Okay, copy that. Jessica, I'd like to continue motion in that direction, another 10 centimeters, please.
And with the arm motion
Copy, additional 10 centimeters in the same direction. Starting motion.
Good readout. And I will remove my rep from H1. Good motion.
Copy H1 at 4 o'clock.
Can you get that through?
Yes.
Stopping motion.
Christina Koch now getting the scoops attached to battery A.
And I can call that complete. And my red is good.
Okay, copy. GCA complete.
Copy
And I'll wait for your
H2
brakes
6
on
o'clock
call.
with a red. Please lock it out with
Sure.
slack and
Brakes
give
are
us
on.
the serial number.
And Stephanie, with that, I believe I have a go for EP work. Is locked out, serial number 0015.
We concur. You have a go to install the scoops H1 at 4 o'clock, H2 at 6 o'clock. You'll end up with your red on the H2 scoop. Christina's red on the H2 scoop.
Okay. Copy.
I want to take a look at how I'll climb down since position has changed.
And with the arm motion complete.
Installed at 4 o'clock. Watch that area off over it again. And I will remove my rep from H1. Thank you. And
Copy
as
H1 at 4 o'clock.
Bring this one out. Be looking to keep it nice and level. Get that through?
Yes.
Christina Koch now getting the scoops attached to battery A.
We have the H2 scoop installed at 6 o'clock. It is locked and my red is good. For PPT settings, I have Alpha 7.
Copy H2 6 o'clock with a red. Please lock it out with slack and give us the serial number. Confirm tape line flush the H2
serial number
scoop, and those are two good
0015.
settings if it didn't transmit. Copy 0015, that is expected. We need your PGT with the 6-inch socket.
Okay, I have tape line flush on H2.
Copy, release H2 about 19
I want to take a look at how I'll climb down since position has changed. Ready?
Yep, good help. And just watch out your helmet again.
Christina Koch once again at work with this pistol grip
Thank you.
tool,
And as I
working to
bring
release
this one
battery
out,
alpha
we're
now.
looking to keep it, but I'm going to continue. I think that might be in level. It's just a little snag in the turn. So if you agree, I will go ahead and continue turn.
Go to continue.
Stephanie, for PGT settings, I have Alpha 7, counter 2, set.
Confirm tape line flush the H2 scoop, and those are two good settings if it didn't transmit.
In work. Okay, and we're free at 16 turns, I believe. Okay, I have tape line flush on H2. Yep, it's a south-south, would you say, Drew?
Yeah, I would say.
Copy, release
turn.
Release H2 about 19 turns. Copy 15, I believe, 15 turns.
Are you ready?
Status
Ready.
indicator.
Copy. Status indicator is unlocked, and Stephanie, that was 16 turn 16.
Christina Koch once again at work with this
Copy
pistol grip tool,
1616.
working to release battery alpha now.
And unlock the rest.
Torque light, but I'm going to continue. I think that might fix itself. It was just a little snag in the turn, so if you agree, I will go ahead and continue turning.
And before you come out of soft dock, let me get in a better position to climb down.
Okay. Also, if I could get your assessment of if you think I will have enough clearance of the thin side of the battery when I transfer it to you. Obviously, this one's sitting a lot higher. I can lean back somewhat, but...
So, Adam, yeah. When you rotate to your right...
Okay, and we're free at 16 turns, I believe.
Let's see, the bumper here, or the scoop here,
Yep,
or
this is South Dock, would you say?
Yeah, I would say. So, when I'm down there, I will make sure that I can see those two.
Okay.
Copy 15, I believe, 15 turns. Please check the status indicator.
Status indicator is unlocked, and Stephanie, that was 16 turn 15.
Drew, if you copy 1616 on the EP for the battery, you can stow your PGT and unlock the rest, and then reposition for the handoff. 20 seconds to a handover.
Stowed. That is unlocked.
As long as you're comfortable hanging on to it during that time, before you come out of soft dock, let me get in a better position to climb down.
Okay, and then it was a little bit hard. Also, if I could get your assessment of staying here in case, if you think I will have enough clearance of the thin side of the battery when I transfer it to you. Obviously, this one's sitting a lot higher. I can lean back somewhat, but...
Assist with that just the same. So, Adam, yeah. When you rotate to your right, a big concern would be, let's see, the bumper here, or the scoop here, or the square here.
Right now, the first battery.
So when I'm down there, I will make sure that I can see those two clearance concerns.
Okay, sounds good. And if not, we'll take the body out a little bit.
In the now empty slot where they
and Drew, if you'd like to,
we're going to make sure.
A bit earlier. Again, these lithium-ion and nickel hydrogen
like to remain on the EP for the battery removal, you can, and then reposition for the handoff. 20 seconds to a handover.
Height, but there is a weight difference between them. The new lithium-ion battery is more dense, weighing 428 pounds.
As long as you're comfortable hanging on to it during that time, man, I think we're good.
As long as I can release it from soft dock, it is...
They'll be removing this lithium-ion
battery. It was a little bit hard to put on soft dock. Do you think about maybe staying here in case you're helped to unsoft dock it?
Yeah, and I think that if I come around here underneath you here, I'll be able to assist with that just the same.
Okay.
Christina, Drew, we're back with you, and when you're comfortable, you can remove the battery.
And another short communication dropout. We'll get that back very quickly. But for right now, the first battery, the first lithium-ion battery coming off the exposed pellet now, and they're going to make their way back over to the integrated equipment assembly to install that in the now empty slot where they removed battery number 1 a little bit earlier. Again, these lithium-ion and nickel-hydrogen batteries both have the same physical dimensions, both 40 inches long, 37 inches wide, and 19 inches in height, but there is a weight difference between them. The new lithium-ion battery is more dense, weighing 428 pounds as opposed to the nickel-hydrogen 364. They'll be removing this lithium-ion battery.
It does move the EP quite a bit. Even though you were slow, I think just a lot of momentum. All right.
Christina, Drew, we're back with you, and when you're comfortable, you can remove the battery.
Okay, I have a great view, and I should be able to put on a hand on it if you're requiring it.
Just release it from soft dock. I'm going to wait to
don't pitch any more towards your head. Don't pitch any more towards your head.
Yep, it's hard to react against, but I slowed its motion, and I'm ready to pass it down to you.
Okay.
Here you will also do a RET swap. Drew will receive a RET to H1.
H1 is heading towards you.
Going towards you, We need to back away some more. And then I'm on your ingress aid.
Copy.
This is where we need to kind of set this down here because we have structure on both sides.
Copy.
So
Let me know how I'm doing.
Continue down towards your feet.
Copy.
I don't have the scoop in sight yet.
Okay.
How much further can you come my direction?
I think it's probably just right over your helmet, maybe even if you move away. Yeah, I'm right over you. I think if you move outward, you will get in a better position to receive it.
I'll move out one down here.
All right, and I'm going to wait to move the battery towards you. If you look inward on it, I can wait from here.
If I'm too far away or too far near. Okay. I'm looking at the things and they all look good.
I'm going to rotate it so the H1 is heading towards you.
Going towards you,
And get you. One. How's that?
That's looking good. We need to back away. Get a RET ready. Some more. Okay. We have a RET on it.
Copy.
This is where we need to kind of set this down here because we have structure on both sides.
Copy.
I have the battery.
Okay, let me know how I'm doing.
Continue down towards your feet. I don't have the scoop in sight yet.
Okay.
How much further can you come my direction?
Or away from structure? I think it's probably just right over your helmet, maybe even if you move away. Yeah, I'm right over you. Pull it down to you, it's clear. I think if you move outward, we'll get in a better position to receive it.
I'll move out one. Move out another handrail right at this point.
Now, if you look inboard, it'll be, I think, right in front of you.
Because I do have a RET too, I think that might be best.
Okay. I should have removed that before.
Okay.
All right. I have.
I'm looking at the things and they all look good.
Okay. Okay. I see that you have the batteries. All right. See if I can react and get you.
Christina, we like the RET and battery config. You can egress when you're
How's
ready.
that?
That's looking good.
Okay.
That's looking good. Let me get a RET ready.
Just like that, the lithium-ion battery's been handed off to Drew Morgan. Christina Koch now going to make her way out of the foot restraint.
I still have control.
Okay.
And then they'll make the careful journey back over to where the
battery.
Okay, you have the battery.
Located.
And then if you could just help me steer it into clear space.
Yep. In the now empty slot.
I think me using the ingress aid
Moving it a little bit outward or away from structure so that it can clear my APSR.
Okay.
All right, you can pull it down to you. It's clear.
Okay.
And the fins are facing away from structure.
I agree. It looks good. Do you need to take your RET at this point? Because I do have a RET too. I think that might be best.
Okay. I should have removed that before. All right, I have my RET.
You have your RET, and I have the battery.
We watch Christina Koch get out of that foot restraint. Let's try to sneak in a few hashtag Ask NASA questions. You've been sending your questions in on Twitter.
Christina, we like the RET and battery config. You can egress when you're ready.
Comes from Sen.
Okay, I'm going to get in a position.
And just like that, the lithium-ion battery's been handed off to Drew Morgan. Christina Koch now going to make her way out of the foot restraint. Again, first one comes from Senegal. I wanted to know how long can the longest spacewalk. And they'll make the careful journey back over to the longest the spacewalk has ever gone. Integrated equipment assembly is located. Begin installing this brand new battery in the now empty slot.
Me using the ingress aid is going to be our most efficient thing to do.
Okay. The same side of structure as you. I'll be ready.
There's been several spacewalks in excess of 8 hours, but that one is the longest in history, 8 hours and 56 minutes. We can see Christina Koch now out of that foot restraint. They're going to start inchoing their way back across to where they're going to install this new battery. And while we watch Christina Cook get out of that foot restraint, let's try to sneak in a few hashtag Ask NASA questions. You've been sending your questions in on Twitter. We'll try and get through a couple of them right now. Our first one comes from Sen medium suit available. Both suits being worn today are medium. We did a reconfiguration over the summer.
I am right up against the ATFR, so I didn't leave you a lot of space.
Potential spacewalkers on
Again,
board.
first one comes from
Senegal. I wanted to know how long can the longest spacewalk be? Largest configured on board the station. Well, the longest the spacewalk has ever gone was 8 hours and 56 minutes. That was back in March of 2001.
Around and inboard of the ATFR, that'll keep both my safety cutter clear and give me clearance to the same side of structure as you. Are you ready?
There's been several spacewalks in excess of 8 hours, but that one is the longest in history, 8 hours and 56 minutes. We can see Christina Cook now out of that foot restraint. They're going to start inchoing their way back across to where they're going to install this new battery. In the meantime, let's jump through a couple more questions. Next one comes from Monarch Butterfly. Wanted to know if NASA fixed the problem of not having the right suit sizes for women. It was the case last time. There's only one medium suit available. Both suits being worn today are medium. We did a reconfiguration over the summer. In fact, all 4 of the current potential spacewalkers on board use a medium suit, so now 2 mediums, 2 larges configured on board the station.
I have the battery. Letting go.
Well done. Copy. All right. We're bringing out here to base there.
I have it.
Okay.
Yep. And I have good steering on it too.
Okay, great.
Cook and Morgan continuing to make their way with this new battery. Let's do one more question real quick. This one's from Christine, who wanted to know, will Jess Camille complete a spacewalk during her mission? Well, she's currently scheduled for 2 spacewalks coming up later this month. One on October 21st with Christina Cook, and then one on October 25th with Luca Parmitano. So should get at least 2 during her time on board. And those will be spacewalks 4 and 5 in our 5 battery swap EVAs.
No, if I'm pulling on it too much.
No, not at all. And this is how much I can give you from where I'm at, so if you're...
Okay. Okay. We can go one more handrail.
All right.
And the next question that we have comes from Super Grover. Wanted to know, when are the spacewalks to install the new batteries?
I have the battery.
Well, we have one right now. There will be another one coming up on October 11th, 16th, 21st, and 25th. Those are the 5 battery spacewalks as the schedule sits right now. That, of course, could get adjusted based off of other things happening on board continuing to make their way with this new battery. Let's do one more question real quick. This one's from Christine, who wanted to know, will Jess Camille complete a spacewalk during her mission? Well, she's currently scheduled for 2 spacewalks coming up later this month. One on October 21st with Christina Cook, and then one on October 25th with Luca Parmitano. So should get at least 2 during her time on board. And those will be spacewalks 4 and 5 in our 5 battery swap EVAs in the month of October.
I'm sorry, I didn't leave a lot of options for you.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm going to this vertical one.
And the next question that we have comes from Super Grover. Wanted to know, when are the spacewalks to install the new batteries? Well, we have one right now. There will be another one coming up on October 11th, 16th, 21st, and 25th. Those are the 5 battery spacewalks as the schedule sits right now. That, of course, could get adjusted based off of other things happening on board station, but we are looking to have all 5 finished inside the month of October.
You have the battery.
You have the battery.
We can make it. I think we can. Oh, if I'm pulling too much.
No?
I'm sorry, I didn't leave a lot of options for you.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm going to this vertical one.
That's the battery.
You have the battery. All right, ready to take it?
Hey, we might be able to, we put you in roughly the position you were in when you received it. The first
Yeah, the battery.
You have the battery for the ingress.
All right. Right now, I want to make sure that I have it in such a way that I can hand it to you. So it's going to go on in this orientation,
we can make it,
correct, with H2
can.
Okay. And I'm going to want to
pulling
hand it
too much.
up to you, I believe.
And so we'll get the most reach out of the red if we're read it like this.
Yep.
So that's good.
And I have the battery.
Yeah, you have the battery. Thanks. And I'm going to go to the boot plate now.
Copy.
The battery.
You have the battery. You want your new.
Okay, keep an eye on that red for me.
Before you want to make sure that the stays in the config with the fins out.
Hey, we might be able to, we put you in roughly the position you were in when you received it.
That makes sense. So,
the first battery.
grab the battery, if you don't mind, taking control of it for just a moment, and then I'm going to switch my hand so that the fins orient naturally out. And I think that'll still allow me to hand it to you. When I hand it to you, the fins will be out, but then do the other swap. So
Got it.
okay?
Battery.
Okay. Okay, I have the battery. Right, now I want to make sure that I have it in such a way that I can hand it to you. So it's going to go on in this orientation, correct, with H2 inboard? Okay.
We'll go down on the boot plate.
Copy. And I'm going to want to hand it like this up to you, I believe.
And so we'll get the most reach out of the red if we're read it like this.
Yep.
So that's good. And
I have the battery.
yeah, you have the battery. Thanks. And I'm going to go to the boot plate now.
Copy. We want your new.
Okay, keep an eye on that red for me.
Before you want to make sure that the stays in the config with the fins out. So even while you ingress. That makes sense. So grab the battery, if you don't mind, taking control of it for just a moment, and then I'm going to switch my hand so that the fins orient naturally out.
The gap here.
And I think that'll still allow me to hand it to you. When I hand it to you, the fins will be out, but then do the other swap.
Okay. Battery.
Okay. Okay, I have the battery.
You have the battery.
Yep. And
we'll go down on the boot plate.
copy.
Let me know if I'm pulling too much.
Not pulling too much at all. It's actually helping. Keeping it away from you so that your feet don't contact the fins.
You know if I'm pulling on it?
Take a look at the battery. Yep, you got that. Nice job.
Okay, so this is the one ingress with the gap here. So this one's a little sportier. The one that you just had to do. Sporty.
Stop at the right.
Let me know if I'm pulling too much.
Not pulling too much at all. It's actually helping. keeping it away from you so that your feet don't contact the fins.
Voice tether, there we go.
Right. And if you're ready,
I'm ready, you can start.
okay, and we can just kind of use the tension of your ret to get it going slowly in your direction.
Almost.
And friendly
I have the
reminder,
battery.
You want the battery?
friendly reminder for the inspections of the IA receptacle and the back of the battery.
Okay. So get the receptacle before, and then I can get the back.
Yes, yep, and I can see the IEA receptacle. The fins are all intact. Pins are straight.
Stop
no
at the
fog,
right.
and the electrical connectors.
You need to cut that right out so that it's in the right spot.
The EMI band looks intact on the one I can see.
Copy, good inspection for the IAA.
And Drew, I'll get in position to inspect back.
Voice tether, there we go.
I was thinking the same place that I was for the removal. Right.
That'd be great.
Okay. And if you're ready,
I'm ready, you can start.
okay, and we can just kind of use the tension of your ret to get it going slowly in your direction.
Almost.
And friendly
I have the
reminder,
battery.
You want the battery?
Go down underneath the APFR and around. Or you can
friendly reminder for the inspections of the IA receptacle and the back of the battery.
That'd be perfect.
Okay. So get the receptacle before, and then I can get the back.
Yes, yep, and I can see the IEA receptacle. The fins are all intact. Pins are straight, no fog, and the electrical connectors.
The pins, and I see no fog. Thank you.
Copy.
The EMI band looks intact on the one I can see. Start lining up.
Copy, good inspection for the IAA.
Get a local down, and then I can help you align. And Drew, I'll get in position to inspect.
And now the crew member is back at that integrated equipment assembly.
Look on the back of the battery.
I was thinking the same place that I was for the removal.
That'd be great.
Okay. Your pins all look good.
Copy, thank you.
Rotate it around and get two hands.
Before the battery gets aligned to be installed, the astronaut's just doing a quick check,
Your position to help you line up.
Okay.
making sure they don't see any foreign object debris on either the battery or the connection point.
You're going to go down underneath the APFR and around, or are you coming straight out?
I was going to come up to the data center.
Yeah, perfect. That'd be perfect.
This time around, Drew Morgan in the foot restraint working to guide the battery into place. Christina Koch getting some help from her point on a handrail. Once it's in, Drew Morgan's going to break out that pistol grip tool and actually drive the bolt to put the battery in place.
And I see no fog.
It's taking the spot of the nickel hydrogen battery that they already removed a little bit earlier on our spacewalk today.
Start lining up. Contact over here.
Get a local down, and then I can help you align.
Remember, just one lithium-ion battery is taking the spot. And now the crew member is back at that integrated equipment assembly. Nickel hydrogen batteries.
On the back of the battery.
These ones in particular have been on board the station since 2009. They were delivered during the shuttle mission STS-127.
Your pins all look good. All right.
These new lithium-ion batteries plan to last before the battery gets aligned to be installed. The astronauts just doing a quick check,
Lock out the ret with slack.
making sure they don't see any foreign object debris on either the battery or the connection point.
Your PGT with a 6-inch socket to Drew.
All right, good. Now we can start moving in, and I'm going to gently take my center. Drew?
This time around, Drew Morgan in the foot restraint working to guide the battery into place. Christina Koch getting some help from her point on a handrail settings. Once it's in, Drew Morgan's going to break out that pistol grip tool and actually drive the bolt to put the battery in place. It's taking the spot of the nickel hydrogen battery that they already removed a little bit earlier on our spacewalk today.
There's some contact over here on the left side. 7. Clockwise 2.
Remember, just one lithium-ion battery is taking the spot of each of
Read
a
back.
pair of nickel-hydrogen batteries. These
Confirm
ones in
tape line
particular
plus
have been
and
on board
H2
the
scoop.
station since 2009. They were delivered during the shuttle mission STS-127.
Looks like soft.
All right.
These new lithium-ion batteries plan to last until the end of the station.